Live reaction. LeeMinHo explodes after Song Joong Ki's shocking confession about song Hye Kyo. The internet is on fire tonight. Because just hours after Song Joong Ki's emotional confession, one that left millions stunned and speechless, LeeMinHo has finally broken his silence. And what he said, what he did, and how the world is reacting right now has turned an already emotional storm into an unforgettable moment in K-entertainment history. This is the story everyone's talking about. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. It started innocently enough. Song Joong Ki's new interview was meant to be about his upcoming film, a quiet, mature conversation about art, choices, and growth. But somewhere in the middle of that calm discussion, the host asked the one question no one expected him to answer. If you could say one final thing to Song Hye Kyo, what would it be? The room fell silent. Joong Ki smiled faintly, his gaze distant, as if looking into a memory only he could see. He hesitated, then said words that would ignite the world. If I could tell her one thing, I'd tell her that I never stopped caring. That even when I moved on, part of me still hoped she'd be okay. That she'd find the love she always deserved. The host froze. The crew froze. And in that moment, the internet, once again, shattered. Within minutes, clips of his confession were everywhere. The video hit 10 million views in its first hour. Fans around the world flooded social media with messages of shock, heartbreak, and awe. He still loves her after all these years. That was not just an interview. That was a confession from the soul. This is history repeating itself in the most emotional way. But as the word spread, all eyes turned toward one man, LeeMinHo. For hours, he said nothing. No tweets. No public appearances. Not even a photo. But inside sources revealed that Min-ho had seen the interview, and that it hit him harder than anyone expected. According to staff members present that evening, he was in the middle of a brand meeting when his phone started buzzing nonstop. Someone leaned over and whispered, "Have you seen what Song Joong Ki said?" He didn't answer. He simply nodded, stood up quietly, and walked out of the room. Moments later, cameras caught him outside his building. Wearing a black cap, eyes hidden, his jaw set tight. He got into his car, rolled down the window for a brief second as reporters shouted questions. "Min-ho SS, how do you feel about Joong Ki's confession? Did you watch the video?" He didn't speak, but his eyes, cold, hurt, conflicted, said everything. Then, in one motion, he closed the window and drove off into the night. Hours later, a live video appeared. LeeMinHo, seated alone in a quiet room, his face illuminated only by the faint light of a single lamp. No music, no filter, no PR polish, just him. Raw, real. He exhaled slowly before speaking. "I've seen the video, and I've seen how the world is reacting." His tone was calm, but underneath it, there was fire. "I've respected Joong Ki as a man, and I still do. But there's a point where the past needs to rest, where words can stop reopening wounds that took years to heal." He leaned forward slightly, his gaze intense. What he said tonight, maybe it came from honesty, maybe it came from pain. But the truth is, Hye Kyo and I are trying to build something real, something grounded. And when the past keeps resurfacing like this, it doesn't just hurt us, it confuses the world watching. He paused, his voice tightening. "I love that woman. Not for who she was in the headlines. Not for what people think she represents. I love her because I see the side no one else gets to see. The quiet one, the gentle one, the one that still believes in love even after it broke her." His jaw clenched slightly, emotion breaking through. "So yes, I'm angry. I'm angry that something so private keeps getting dragged into the spotlight. Because she deserves peace. She's earned it." The chat section of his live stream exploded. Thousands of messages flooded the screen every second. "Protect her, Min-ho. He's speaking from the heart. This isn't drama. This is love in real life." But LeeMinHo wasn't finished. He continued, voice steady, but trembling with emotion. "This isn't about jealousy or rivalry. It's about respect. If Joong Ki meant those words, if he truly wishes her well, then I hope he'll let her go completely. He looked directly into the camera then. His expression softened. Because she has finally found the peace he wished for her, and that peace is here with me. And just like that, he ended the stream. No goodbye. No press statement. Just silence. Heavy, final, and powerful. But the internet wasn't done. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. It trended in more than 25 countries, with millions calling it the most emotional live reaction ever broadcast. News anchors replayed his words, analyzing every second. Body language experts described it as a man torn between empathy and defense. And while fans argued, one thing was clear. LeeMinHo had spoken not as a celebrity, but as a man fiercely protecting the woman he loves. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Hye Kyo was reportedly watching the entire stream. A close friend revealed she cried silently through it all, not from pain, but from something deeper. She whispered, "He didn't have to say that, but he did." After the video ended, she reportedly picked up her phone and sent him a short message. It reads simply, "Thank you for fighting for my peace." The night after LeeMinHo's live broadcast, Seoul didn't sleep. News anchors kept replaying his words. Commentators analyzed every pause, every flicker of emotion. Fans from all corners of the world stayed glued to their screens, refreshing timelines, waiting, hoping for one final response. And then it happened. At exactly 2:17 a.m., a quiet post appeared on Hye Kyo's official account. No hashtags. No caption. Just a single photo of her sitting by the window, moonlight washing over her face, holding a pen in her hand and a small piece of stationery resting on her lap. Moments later, she uploaded another image. This time, it was the letter itself. Neatly written. No signature at the bottom. But everyone knew whose handwriting it was. The letter that stopped time. To the people watching from afar, and to those who once stood beside me closely, I have heard everything. The words, the reactions, the pain, and the love. I want to speak, not to defend, not to explain, but simply to breathe. Because sometimes, even love stories that end deserve a moment of quiet grace. Her words were soft, delicate, but filled with unshakable strength. The tone wasn't bitter, it was serene, mature, honest. There was a time when Joong Ki and I were two hearts running in the same direction. We tried. We loved. And when the time came to part, I believed we both carried a small piece of each other forward, not to hold on, but to remember. Millions of fans stopped scrolling. Some whispered, "She's really addressing him." And she continued, "When I heard what he said, I cried. Not because I was hurt, but because I understood. Time doesn't erase everything. It just changes the color of the memories." The line hit like poetry, gentle, devastating, true. Then came the part that silenced the world. To the man who now stands beside me, the one who has seen me at my quietest, who never asks me to hide or prove, thank you for fighting for my peace, even when the world tried to take it from us. That single line, fighting for my peace, echoed across every platform, because it confirmed what everyone suspected. She was speaking directly to LeeMinHo. You once told me that love doesn't have to be loud to be strong. Tonight, I understand that fully, because even as the world shouts, I can still feel the calm between your words. The world froze. Some cried. Some smiled through tears. Others whispered, "This is the closure we all needed." But her letter wasn't just about romance. It was about humanity. To everyone who has loved us, judged us, or stood by us, I want you to know, I am grateful. The past will always be part of me, but the present is where I choose to live now. Please let this be my last word on love that was and love that is. The final sentence, handwritten slightly shakier than the rest, read, "The past shaped me. The present heals me. The future I will face with peace." Then, beneath it, a small drawing of a single white flower. No signature, just silence. The final image that lingered was of Hye Kyo, standing by her window, the first light of dawn brushing against her face. Her expression wasn't broken. It was calm, whole. The woman who had been painted by the world's headlines as tragic or mysterious was now something entirely different, reborn. And for those who had followed every headline, every rumor, every heartbreak, they knew this was not the end. It was the beginning of peace.